Welcome to this episode of Cardinal Film Fights. I'm your host, judge, and moderator, Mark Rollins. And no, today we're not just fucking over our red-green colorblind viewers, if there are any. We're actually doing our holiday episode, because the holidays are coming up. And so our questions will be holiday themed. But before we get to those, let's introduce our fighters. We're going to start on this end, come this way. They're going to give their name, their year, a fun fact about themselves, and then we'll go.
Hi, my name is Cole Callahan. I am a senior telecommunications student here at Ball State. And a fun fact about me is that I play banjo very poorly.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Holbrook. I'm a junior animation major, and a fun fact about me is I broke my elbow in the 5th grade falling off a horse.
Hi, my name is Nick Evans. I'm a senior telecommunications major, president and director of Cardinal Film Fights. And a fun fact about me is that I brought this train. I brought it. Thanks, Dad.
This train. Right here, in case that wasn't clear at all.
Who brought it? I did.
Apparently this guy.
It's a nice train, Nick.
Thank you.
My favorite band.
So I'm going to explain, because we got some new people here. I'm going to explain how this works, okay? Yeah, sure, buddy. So I'm going to explain how this works. So we're going to start off with a minute introduction, which I give you a minute to introduce what you picked and why. Then we go straight into a 5-minute form in which we tear each other down, build yourselves up, and a free-for-all form. And then we finish off with a 30-second conclusion in which we take all the arguments, wrap them up in a nice, neat little bow, which I say every week, but now it's especially appropriate because it's the holiday episode, in case you tuned out for the first 15 seconds of the show. It's the holiday episode. So we wrap it up in a nice, neat little bow, and then I take all of those, judge whether the arguments were naughty or nice, and then make a decision. So without any further ado, we're going to introduce our question, which is the worst Christmas movie cliche. So to start with our introductions, we're going to start with, I'm sorry, your name again, sir.
Nick.
Nick, yeah.
Jolly old Saint Nick.
Jolly.
Wow.
Nick Evans.
Exquisite.
Who I guess has been here before, he keeps saying. We're going to start with Nick, and then we're going to go to Kim and finish up with Cole.
All right. Well, have you ever watched a Christmas movie or any holiday movie? If you have, there's a decent chance at the end of it, it snows. Every time. Hallmark loves to do this. Every movie loves to do this. It snows, all the fake flour or powder or cocaine, maybe it's cocaine. It just kind of rains from the sky and everybody's like, it's snowing on Christmas. And then they do this dumb pull-out shot and you just see all the snow and everybody's walking around, dancing and prancing and Donner and Blitzen and Rudolphing around and it's just dumb. It's the most overused cliche, and then it's even better when they're like, I've never seen snow before, and it snows. It's you mean the movie set in winter involves snow? Where have you been? So yeah, it's stupid.
All right. We'll go straight on to Kim.
Okay, so for my cliche, I think it's overrated whenever Santa is kidnapped, killed, replaced, made ill, or any other ailment that may fall upon him in this wintry season, and oh no, Christmas can't happen. It's overdone to the point where you can almost guarantee every time you watch a Christmas movie that Santa is not just going to be okay. Even if he is physically fine, something around him will go wrong. And it seems to be that every movie can't divide from this idea that Santa has to be okay. They don't want him to be okay. And it seems as though every time he tries, he gets hurt. And so I think it's also kind of a sad thing to say that the holidays have to involve our biggest Christmas hero getting hurt all the time. And that's why I think that is the worst cliche.
The worst cliche in my mind is probably when a mother or father or a single person has to work on Christmas Day. The reason I say this is because I've been definitely been traumatized by the Hallmark movies. I think we can all take a moment of silence for basically the trauma that Hallmark's brought to all of us. But in all, I believe that I've seen too many damn movies of people that say they have to go to work on Christmas Day, and then someone invites them, and then they go, they have a great time, they either fall in love, or they end up being a wonderful parent of their child and give them the best Christmas of their life.
All right. Well, let's go straight into our 5-minute forum.
So my first problem is with the it starts with the parent has to work. That's not necessarily a cliche that's like specifically towards the holiday season. That's something that you see in a lot of other movies where, oh no, the parent has to go work. Usually it's for like a birthday or like a kid's recital or some other big event that is happening within the child's life. So it is a cliche, but like I don't really consider it to be a cliche specifically towards the season. I mean, you're right, you do see it on Hallmark movies, but outside of Hallmark movies, what other like Christmas movie is that really a cliche? I mean, you see the snow falling. It's not just relegated to Hallmark. You see it in every other Christmas movie. Rudolph, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I think at least in one of the SpongeBob Christmas specials, it happened. I think I don't remember if snow falls on Deck the Halls. Although I think it is that. Yeah, feel free to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to counter your point is that, yes, maybe there is snow at the end of a movie, but also how many movies at the end say the end? I mean, that's also hand in hand, kind of the same way.
I have to highly disagree with you on that one because the fin cliche or the end cliche isn't really used anymore. It's fallen out of service since probably the end of the silent film era, whereas the snow falling hasn't stopped. And regarding, I can't see because of this damn tree. Regarding the Santa Claus gets killed or injured, I don't know. I feel like that's become a new thing lately, and it really only happens in movies that involve Santa Claus. But the biggest sinner of Christmas cliches is Hallmark, and Hallmark doesn't really use Santa. It's usually just full of pretty people.
You could call Hallmark the biggest sinner, but at the same time, it's kind of hand in hand that Santa is part of Christmas, and you saying that it's a new thing, it's not necessarily true because even the older animated films, there's always something in his way, such as in Santa Claus is Coming to Town, he ends up having to work around Meisterburger, because of all the laws placed on the
land.
Say
it again. Say it like a German.
No.
Say it like Bürgermeister Meisterburger.
Anyways, along with that, then Rudolph comes along, and he can't do Christmas because, oh no, he can't see. And it just seems to be that every...
I can agree with her on this one. I can agree with her.
That's not your cliche, though. Your cliche is Santa getting hurt, killed, enslaved, captured, or...
etc.
But she does say replace.
Yep, she did say replaced.
So, like, it doesn't imply... And since there's replaced and then etc., I think the general... I'm interpreting it, just so you all know, as the general cliche is that Santa is incapacitated at some point.
But I
Yes,
don't really Santa not being able to see through a snowstorm doesn't necessarily rely on Santa himself is not incapacitated. Like, it's just snow. He could put a big fucking spotlight on the sleigh.
Perhaps
and
not, but it's always coming back to the fact that Santa is the one that has to make Christmas happen. And because without of his service, it can't happen.
Your cliche is reliant, though, on the jolly old elf, whereas mine is not reliant on Santa Claus to be in the movie for the cliche to happen. My cliche can happen regardless of that. My cliche can happen on Hanukkah movies because I think Adam Sandler did that at 8 Crazy Nights. Like, my holiday cliche is not relegated to just Christmas. It is relegated
but the question
to all
itself
holidays.
is the worst Christmas cliche, not the
And
most prevalent Christmas
and
cliche.
how often do you
the cliche
see-
is prevalent in its own.
Correct, but how often do you see this cliche?
I'm
A
just-
lot.
Okay, but
Too
that's
much.
not the question though. It's the worst.
question-
it is
and
the
it is the
worst.
worst.
It's like what
You
has
see
the
it all
worst
the
taste?
time.
What has the worst taste? Like what makes you like cringe? I don't
Snow.
think snow. Snow makes you cringe. Why are you in Indiana?
Snow-
Move the hell out of here.
snowfall-
Go to
snow
Florida.
falling.
You said at the end that these people are seeing snow for the first time. Like,
But they're
or
all
act-
seeing snow for the first time.
Yeah.
Like,
How do you know? How do you know these? Where are these movies based? That's my question. Name where these movies are based. I don't know. It could be California. It could be Florida, where these things are realistic. It could be Colombia, where maybe cocaine is falling. You know, that's very realistic. So
I
I,
don't
think
think
we
I've
have
seen
to
a
look at
Christmas
it
movie in
objectively
Colombia.
until we have locations picked out.
Okay, we got 3 seconds. Anyone want to just insult somebody? Never mind. Okay, never mind.
Your
you missed
antlers are
chance.
saggy.
Okay. Let's. You're saggy.
Your antlers are saggy.
Oh.
No, Nick's.
Okay.
One's shiny and one's not.
So we're going to go to the 30-second conclusions. We're going to start with Cole and then work our way back down to Nick.
So in conclusion, I think that Kimberly should win this one. To be honest,
Wow. Well,
And
hot top.
I'll just be blunt about that.
I take
much
your
of a talk.
surrender with gracious and courtesy.
Well, when she shared that answer with me, I was like, wow, you know what, you're right. I think mine is a good one, and I think it makes me cringe the most, but I think hers is, if we want to talk about prevalency and cringeworthiness, I think hers would be the best.
Wow. I feel like this is another Christmas cliche. One person giving up what they want
Didn't Nevin do
for the
that?
benefit of
Yeah.
someone.
Nevin did that the first year
Yeah,
when
Nevin-
I hosted.
I'm here to share what's right.
Wow, 'tis the season indeed. Okay, Kim, go on.
Well, after that endorsement, I'll just go along to try and strengthen my argument in saying that without the figurehead of Santa, a lot of the Christmas movies that you see just wouldn't happen. And whether or not it does involve Santa isn't exactly dependent upon the fact that there's always snow in a Christmas movie. It's almost a guarantee. Whereas you would almost expect a kind of originality in the plot that Santa has, and without that, you have nothing.
And we'll finish up with Nick.
So, Cole has surrendered graciously, and so that just leaves me with Kimberly. Her cliche is dependent on a character appearing, and it's never. I mean, it changes in the way that Santa might be incapacitated. Mine is always the same way. It snows at the end of the Christmas movie when everybody's learned their lesson, everybody's happy, the stupid pull-out shot, and the music is playing.
I heard the ring. There we go. I heard the ring in my head, Paige. Like,
We should have replaced that with Jingle Bells.
oh, like a ching.
Yeah.
Like the Pole
That would-
Express bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't hear it if we didn't believe.
If we didn't, but we're all
we
believers.
believe.
I believe in Santa.
Yeah.
I believe in Santa.
Any checks to fact? Any facts to check, Vaughn?
Yes, 3 things pertaining to Nick's argument.
Nice.
So, first of all, I was able to find 2 Hallmark movies that involve Santa. There's Finding Santa and Love Always Santa.
Ew.
And
Sounds
That sounds
it does
like a
not,
drinking game.
the end of 8 Crazy Nights is not like snowing. It's just a dancing old man.
Oh no, is it?
Man.
Yeah.
I'd rather not watch
And then
Yep.
Nate has something.
We'd see that.
Oh, okay. Well, Nate found a list of modern movies that use the end at
Okay.
the end. So,
Okay. Well then. So, first of all, I just want to say that when we were like listing off other movies that use like snowfall, I was like The Shining. Snow falling at the end, pull out shots like The Shining. But that's neither here nor there. So, let me make my decision. First place goes to Kim.
Nice job.
Second place, Nick. Third place, Cole. I'm sorry. It was anyone's game. It was, especially. I was really half tempted when you like gave it to Kim Cole. I was like, "There's a pure soul. He
Yeah,
deserves
it
some
is,
wins."
yeah. It's Christmas time, man.
It's Christmas, but no. And here's my reasoning, but it's nothing you really haven't heard before. Kim, I'm giving you first because you proved that like Santa being incapacitated somehow really kind of adversely affects the originality of the plot. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a Christmas movie where Santa is in it where he's like not incompetent somehow. It's just like, come on, man. You've been doing it 1,000 years and all of a sudden it's this year that trips you up with snow. But so yes, I think you made a real sound argument that that has the biggest effect on a Christmas movie's plot.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, I'm giving you second place because you made a good case for the pervasiveness of snow falling at the end of the movie and how that can get old really quick. But since it doesn't have a direct effect on like the plot, I had to dock you points there. Also,
Fair.
the facts were kind of against you there. And then Cole, I had to give you third. That's because I'm gonna, and here's the reason. It's because you said you should have third, and how can I deny a request like that?
What I say goes.
So
I'll say
Tony
I'll
says I
first.
should have first.
Yeah, yeah,
He's like a
I'm
genie.
surprised no one has done that. Yeah, it's that easy, people. So anywho, to recap, first place Kim, second place Nick, third place Cole. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Cardinal Film Fights. I'm your judge, host, and moderator, Mark Rollins. Have a happy holiday season, whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate. Enjoy time with family, friends, pets,